Wednesday, the 12th of August, 2009, and it's time for a live Frankiecast with your host, Isabel McGillicuddy. This is the video blog dedicated to the self-proclaimed coolest cat in the world, 5.5-year-old gray male tabby, Frankie Johnson. Here comes the show. Hi, and welcome to the Frankiecast for the 12th of August. As usual, Isabel McGillicuddy, your host, is not here. This time I was unable to resolve some technical issues, which did not meet her standards. Her journalistic integrity was insulted, and she will not be here this evening, but she will be with us. She will be with us this Saturday, the 15th of August, 2009. As many of you know, and some of you do not, my one-eyed orange cat, Simon, last year, told his early life story to the coolest cat in the world, 5.5-year-old gray male tabby, Frankie Johnson. Frankie then relayed that story to me, which I transcribed into the story detailing Simon's early life, from Afghanistan through Guantanamo Bay and finally to the United States. Simon did not tell Frankie the rest of the story about how he got from an airport in Texas to his final home here in Macoupin County. Well, Simon has begun talking again to Frankie, and Frankie has begun relaying that story to me, and I would like to issue an excerpt of Simon's story. Now, the entire sequel, as I'm calling it, this newest story that Simon is telling to Frankie, is not nearly complete. Won't be for quite some time, but I'd like to read an excerpt tonight. Not read by an expert by any means. But here's an excerpt of Simon's latest saga. Simon was hungry and getting tired. The orange tabby ambled up the driveway of a red brick house on his left with one big window, a door, two smaller windows and black shutters. Solar lights lined the curved concrete sidewalk that led from the driveway to the front door. A shiny blue sedan with a red, white, and blue Bush Cheney bumper sticker sat, apparently unoccupied, in the driveway. Simon crouched and crawled under the car. Time to look around, think, and plan. Simon peeked out and saw two boys, about 12 years old, sitting on the steps of the neighbor's front porch, talking and passing some sort of cards back and forth. At eye level with the top of the grass lawn, Simon saw a few moths flying from place to place, but he didn't see a thing to eat. He heard a bird chirping, though. It sounded like it was in that tree by the street. A car passed. Somewhere a child yelled. Simon froze and stiffened, his only eye getting bigger, then narrowing into a laser beam glare focused on a big brown bird that had dropped out of the tree and was standing in the grass with its head cocked, hopping a few inches every few seconds. Simon began to salivate at the potential meal that was midway between him and the tree. Simon planted his back feet under his body, raised his back end a little, and began to twitch his rump from side to side. Simon charged and the bird began to fly, but a little too late. Simon caught one wing with two claws of his right paw. It was enough to bring the bird down. The bird flapped and broke Simon's grip, but only for a moment. Simon lurched, pounced, and pinned the squawking, flapping cat meal to the grassy ground. Simon reached down, bit the bird's head and crushed it, instantly transforming the flappy wings into twitchy, spasmodic appendages. Nothing personal, bird, but I gotta eat. One of the boys on the porch noticed the commotion. "Ooh, look! That cat's killing a bird," one of them said. "Whoa, check it out! Chopper's watching him do it," noted the other. Chopper? Who's Chopper? That's when Simon looked up and saw the dog. It was a big, brown, short-haired cur bitch with enormous jaws whose skin stretched tight over endless muscle, standing just across the street, staring intently at Simon. Stiff-legged and tense like a spring, it issued a low growl, and Simon knew what that meant. Quick! What to do? Undercar or up tree? Undercar or up tree? Car no good. Dog can get under there. Tree. As Simon bolted for the tree, the mutt hurtled across the street directly at Simon. Simon had the edge, and he was in midair, the trunk almost within grasp as the dog planted and made its final leap. Simon's depth perception wasn't good since losing one of his eyes to a grenade, causing him to misjudge his leap just enough that it fell a little short, his front claws scraping the bark of the trunk but not quite gripping. Simon fell to the ground, and the dog had him. That's it. That's the excerpt of Simon's latest saga. I hope to have the story transcribed as told by Frankie, assuming that Simon keeps talking, and you never know about that. It's unpredictable. I hope to have it all transcribed sometime later this year, but we shall see. In the meantime, I hope that little excerpt holds your interest. Mac is now at my feet, giving himself a foot bath. Polly is in the bay window looking out at the pond. Tubby is on Penelope's feeding table. You don't get fed there, Tubby. Penelope is hiding under the couch, and Frankie is not in sight. He's probably on his own feeding table. Oh, no, I see him now. He's over by the stove, waiting for his next feeding. That's all I've got for tonight, because I was expecting Isabel to be here, and I should have known better. We'll be back, and Isabel will finally make her debut this coming Saturday, the 15th of August. And I have to admit, she has an amazing lineup. The entire hour, and yes, it will be an hour, will include her guest. Will feature her guest for the full hour, former President Bill Clinton, with special musical guest Miley Cyrus. So look forward to that this coming Saturday night. The next Frankiecast with your host, Isabel McGillicuddy. So I'll see you then, but you will not see me then. Let's close it out with a Frankie feed.
Take it easy, Frankie. Take it easy.
Your elder gets fed first, Frank. That's you, Toby. Then thanks for watching. Good night.